Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. We are back at it once again, and I think just the easiest way to get back into rhythm on this channel and doing the things that the old Seaman likes to do is to rip trailers and react to said trailers. And that's what we've been doing over the last couple days here. We watched a couple nerdy things a day ago. We watched another nerdy thing this morning with Spider Noir. That looks like it's going to be all the things I want in a Spider Noir show, at least in a black and white teaser. Prime and Sony, I think they've got something with Cage that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to tap into some horror elements, which is always good, and I think that makes it the perfect transition to go from like Mortal Kombat, Mandalorian, Grogu, Spider Noir into the world of horror proper, and specifically the man Lee Cronin and his latest project. I love that we are getting not one but two of these movies, one that goes back to the franchise proper and one that breaks away to just do a straight up horror movie that involves a mummy. What are we talking about? Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We are getting ready to take a look at the official trailer for Lee Cronin's The Mummy. And I love that he's putting his name on it, man. Like, this is not gonna be your traditional mummy movie. And for people that are, you know, my age, maybe a little bit younger, but were kids in the 90s and early thousands, we obviously grew up with The Mummy, and it was a big old action sci-fi, like adventure type movie trilogy, and I love those mummy movies. They play with the horror stuff, I think, well enough. There's some messed up stuff that does happen in those movies, but they're packaged in a way where you can bring it to people in a PG-13 setting, and you can have this big, you know, science fiction action franchise, and it's a lot of fun. And I love that after a failed reboot with Tom Cruise, not so much Cruise's fault and just like a really not great script. I love that we're going back to The Mummy proper with Fraser. We're bringing Rachel Weisz back. Like, we're bringing the whole gang back for that. And that's super exciting. However, when you think about where The Mummy comes from, and, you know, Universal, honestly, I feel like if Universal would have done something like this with this character rather than doing what they did with Tom Cruise and trying to continue the action forward elements to build a dark universe, I think maybe the dark universe would have had a better shot. So I love the idea of Lee Cronin taking on The Mummy as a horror property. Like, let's get into the scares. Let's get into the monsters of it all. And like I said, those Brendan Fraser movies, they do tap into that stuff. But it's second, third. It's a tertiary thing in the movie, not front and center. And I think if you do a mummy movie that's straight horror, at the heart of it, front and center, I think you could have something really, really cool. And I think Lee Cronin is a guy who I'm like, yes, I want to see anything he wants to do in the world of horror. And if it's going to be mummy stuff, like, yes. Like, I'm expecting this trailer to just tap into all the things that our Mummy franchise flirts with on the horror landscape and just crack it open. How physically we get to see things cracked open and really get into the scare of it all. And I love what Cronin did with Evil Dead. I think his take was really strong, really just made a mark and made a name for himself, where, like, if you say the words horror and you say the words Lee Cronin, the Seaman is gonna be there. So I'm pumped. Conceptually, I'm just so here for this, and I can't wait to see what we get. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get the trailer up for you. I've got it in front of me. Let's take a look at how scary things could be in Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Can I get 2 slices of pizza?
No.
Of course, honey.
No, you never ever finish 2.
Hello?
Mr. and Mrs. Cannon, I'm Deputy Chief of the U.S. Embassy. Your daughter Katie has been found.
Oh.
She's alive.
Well, I wasn't prepped for that.
It's very important you fully prepare yourself for what you're about to see.
Oh,
No sudden
man.
moves. No loud noises.
Oh, sorry, it got me so uncomfortable.
Mom and Dad.
Yeah, we are here.
Oh, man, what happened? Oh, teeth. Teeth. The teeth, they get me.
Been missing for 8 years. What was our daughter doing in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus?
She just needs our care and lots of love.
Oh, yeah.
How many others were found?
57.
57?
We're still alive.
What happened to Katie?
I mean, I guess
What really happened to her?
nothing.
Loto, Señor de los Milagros. Loto, Señor de los Milagros.
Oh, man.
Transformar lo imposible en realidad.
Oh.
Don't worry, Grandma. It's fine to be dead.
Let's go. Oh, yeah. There it is. Oh.
I just want my daughter back.
So good. Yeah, take my money, Lee Cronin. 4/17 fired me up right before my birthday month. This looks great. Lee Cronin, like, tapped in, man. Like, he's got the body horror stuff going on. He's got, just like, he's got to be able to play with just real life horror, right? Like the idea of an abduction or a missing person, bringing that person back into a family, like all the stuff going on with Katie. Take the mummy elements out of it, and that's real life horror, right? So anytime you can play with real life horror inside the context of actual horror for a horror movie, like I love that, and I very much want to see what Cronin could be speaking to in those realms from a thematical standpoint. Just feels like he's got a lot of meat on the bone to play with throughout the course of this one. But then, like I said, you start getting into like the horror of it, and like it's just, like little girl biting family members, the body horror stuff we get. I mean, haunting type stuff, because there's supernatural elements that can happen with a mummy, and like,
Don't worry, Grandma.
It's
It's
fun to be dead. Like, what? that little girl's execution, and obviously the filters they're putting on her voice there, sheer perfection. But just like that image, that little girl clearly looking slightly mummified with that creepy smile on her face, like that image alone will give me nightmares for weeks, and I'm so here for that. But then, like, the other thing I think that's interesting too, right? Like, that's, her rosary is what's circling there, and there were like not like possession type elements kind of in here too, right? Like playing with, like, are we going to play with religion in any way? Like, I'm going to assume that Grandma is a really religious lady, so how does that counter inside the world of a mummified human that's not alive, might be sort of alive, like in that, almost zombie type space. Interesting, I think, place to kind of cross different vibes from the horror realm. And then, like I said, like, if you're gonna give me, like, a girl's been missing for 8 years and they find her in a sarcophagus, like, yeah, I need the body horror elements. And those, like, that feels like Cronin's tapping into the right body horror stuff there. But I also like you are gonna go to Cairo, you're gonna be in Egypt, you're gonna be where you would find sarcophaguses and things, and play with some of those elements, right? Like seeing this gives me traditional mummy vibes if you're speaking to the Brendan Fraser stuff. Like it's a cool way for him to kind of blend and play with things that I think come from those movies, as well as the traditional horror stuff. And it really feels, I do love the unwrapping of the mummy and then unwrapping of chef's kiss. The editing on this is great. But one of the other things that I think was missing, and one of the things that's arguably the scariest thing in the Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser, is when you have those little beetles and they start covering people. So having this beetle pop out and then run into that lady's mouth, like, yes, like that's one of those other things that you can bring a classical element from those action movies. That is the one horror piece that they really do dive into more than once in that series. Having that present, just the settings and locations, like if you're not in the desert, these foresty type spots, I think, are a really good place. And just, like, speaking of the possession elements, like, you're seeing something there. I think it's interesting. Like, usually that's flipped, that shot. Like, this is what I like about Cronin, is he can take things we're familiar with and flip them on their head. And literally he's flipping this shot, like, inversed, where normally it would be the person on the ground, the possessed thing on top, and the out the mouth into the other mouth. And this seems to be going, or what? Oh, maybe it was it going out of the dad's mouth? I thought it was going, yeah, no, it's reversed. It's going up. That's like it. Like, that's something that I like about Cronin, is he just can find different ways to play with elements that we're very familiar with, and that keeps you off balance. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you on edge, and that's what you want in a movie that's going to definitely punch you with some solid jump scares. So yeah, for me, I mean, everything that I want in a Mummy movie is right here in Lee Cronin's Mummy. So I'm stoked. This looks like it's going to be a lot of horror fun, and I can't wait for April to get those balls rolling before entering my 40th birthday month and all the other things that we've watched in the last 2 days. So that's it. I'm going to shut up. I'll flip it over to you guys. What are you thinking? Are you a fan of the classic Mummy horror stuff? Are you a fan? Do you come from the world of Brendan Fraser, like myself, with the sci-fi action Mummy things? And what do you think of Lee Cronin's take here, going back to the traditional horror, trying to scare the pants off of you with the concept of a mummy and how that can impact a formerly living person? Is that, you think, a smart route to go down? Do you think that we don't need this movie and we should just stick to the sci-fi action stuff that we will be getting with the new Mummy movie? Or are you glad that we live in a world where we can have both, man? You're right, like, have your cake and eat it too. Anything you got, man. What's creeping you out? What things do you think Cronin is playing with that gets you excited for this movie? What are you nervous about? Good, bad, indifferent on the official trailer for Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Put it down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime we're talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions, you want to be here in April to see my thoughts on The Mummy, or just be here for any of the things that we've been talking about. You dig the vibe, you want to show a little love and support, come join C-Maniac Nation. Super easy. Jump over there, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts. Until next time, for the C-Man Cinema Sit Down, I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace! C-Maniac Nation, you look nervous. Is it the scars? Would you like to know where I got them? No? Well, then maybe you'd like to see another video with the C-Man. How about up here or over here? And if you really dig the C-Man, well, then show him a little love right over there.